Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kale. I am incredibly influential.
And I am Maxwell, and I am highly successful.
Today is Friday, December 15th, as we're recording this. And you know what? I'm just going to come out and say it.
December 14th?
15th. Did I not say 15th? 15th. Today's the 15th. 1 5. Um, yeah. But I want to come out and say it. Finals are done. They're over. The semester is done. I am so happy right now, dude. I ooh, that was rough. You know,
Yeah.
that was a bit of a struggle, but I
And
got
how'd you get
mostly good
through it?
grades.
How'd you
Sorry.
get how'd you get through it?
Um, the patience of Job, pretty much. that that's about it. That's all I could say is I had the patience of Job. Um, it was hard. There was there was a lot of moments where I wanted to quit because, good lord, it was bad. Um, but you know what? We made it through. We're here. Um, how was your semester, buddy?
Um, it was pretty good, you know.
All right.
Yeah. It was kind of short. That's how
How
it
so?
felt. Um, I think I just sat out on a lot of things that happened, and we're at the end. So
Yeah.
I I'm taking that as like a sign to kind of take a step up for next semester. Try
Yeah.
and try and be more active.
Although I
But
would say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I would also say that.
yeah, but one has to see that it is broken to fix it.
That is true. That is true. Um. I also. Uh. So yeah. I'm glad we're done with the semester. But you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna jump into it. We're talking about shit today. We're talking about a lot of shit today. I got a lot of shit
Oh,
on the docket.
we're we're talking.
We
We
are
are talking,
talking
all right.
about shit. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. So, um, number one thing I wanted to talk about is a list of the Rolling Stones best action movies of all time list has sort of resurfaced over on Twitter. Um, and it's
In
got
the
some real
Twitter headlines.
stinkers. It's got some real stinkers on it that I just wanted to point out. But
This article is from 2021.
yes,
But
so
it's making a comeback.
if you're thinking there might be some things on this list that probably should be there, you're right. But um, just reminder, this came out 2 years ago in August. So anything from like there onwards that should have made the cut but didn't, is yeah, yeah, uh, didn't happen, didn't come out yet. So they couldn't have put it
Certain
on there.
action movies, certain everywhere all
Everything
at
everywhere all at
once.
once. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Notably
I
absent action movie.
True, but it hadn't come out yet. It would have been a few months before it came out. So let's not get too angry at it.
Damn.
But
We can't have discourse or we
no, I
can't
mean
be
I mean like
unreasonably frustrated with this.
no, it deserved to be on the list, but it hadn't come out yet. So like when this article was written, it hadn't come out yet. So like that's understandable that it's not on the list. Um, but here's some lists that probably here's some entries that probably shouldn't have made it on the list. The Man from Uncle back in 2015. It's okay. I wouldn't
It's
put it
number
in my top
50.
50. I wouldn't even put it in my top 50. I think it's okay. It's just, it's it's just a
I'd say there are better action movies with those actors that are on
exactly.
this list.
Yeah, there are at least 50 other uh action movies that are better than that easily. Especially considering the author of the article talks about James Bond and I think there's only 2 other James Bond movies on this list. So I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. Escape from New York is number 49, which I don't really agree with. I think it probably could be higher. Kurt Russell's pretty fucking fantastic. John Carpenter's pretty fucking fantastic.
So what's the complaint?
I think it could have been a little bit higher. The Rock. We've seen The Rock.
We have seen The Rock.
At 47. I mean, I don't think it's that good, I'm gonna be honest, but that was the first time we saw it, and it was with Scott Henson, and obviously we were more focused on making jokes about the movie than actually watching the movie. But losers go home winners go home and fuck the prom queen is a pretty solid line.
That's true.
I was saying it through the entire movie because I was so excited for it to show up. I was so excited. You should go and watch that. Go over to Patreon, use your free trial, and watch The Rock with us. It's a great commentary.
Oh, yes.
Taken at number 46. Taken better than Escape from New York. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Yeah, interesting rankings overall.
Yes. Speaking of Star Wars actors who were kind of geriatric by the time their movies came out, The Fugitive in 1993.
Why didn't you say that for Taken?
I don't know. I like The Fugitive. I think it's a good movie. I don't know if I would call it an action movie. Like, it has action in it. But like, yeah, I mean, I guess it is. I don't know. But they put Speed above both Taken and Escape from New York and
New York.
New York, not New York. Jesus Christ, Kale, learn to talk. I haven't even started drinking yet. And better than The Fugitive. I would not put Speed better than The Fugitives. The Fugitive's fucking good. But here's the first really big upset. Wonder Woman 2017 higher than all of the previous entries. I would say that Wonder Woman is better than The Rock. I would say that. But yeah, no. Like, I am a Wonder Woman 2017 defender. Like, I like it, but even I would say that's a fucking terrible choice. More films that I should probably see. But keep scrolling. Atomic Blonde at number 39. I don't think Atomic Blonde is as good as some of the other ones that have already been listed. But okay. Predator at number 37. I will say Predator belongs on this list. Predator's a fucking great movie.
Agreed.
It genuinely such a great movie. Point Break is on here. I don't mind that. Great Escape probably makes sense. Avengers Endgame at 33. Sure. Why not? Why the hell not?
Over Infinity War?
Infinity War's not even on the list.
I know.
So they're saying Wonder Woman is better than Infinity War.
They're saying the fight scenes in Endgame make the top 50 and Infinity War doesn't?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I gotta say, I think the fight scenes in Infinity War were better.
Mm-hmm. I would mostly agree with that. Total Recall at 32. You know, Verhoeven's a good director. Sure. Here's our first James Bond. Goldfinger. Not Goldeneye, Goldfinger. Goldeneye is not on this list. I would say Goldeneye is probably better than Goldfinger. There's my hot take. I really like Goldeneye.
What's warranted as action? Is it a red laser slowly going up to James Bond's PP?
Well, they do fight. He does fight Odd Job. He fights a couple of people. But
that's true. That's true. If we consider a flying hat an action scene,
you're goddamn right. Train to Busan is at 30. I have not seen Train to Busan yet, but I've heard it's really good. So you know what? Okay.
There is
Uh,
some action in that, so
Yeah.
it it's warranted.
29. 29 is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
And 28 is Edge of Tomorrow, which,
That is a fucking awful pick. That is a
that
fucking awful pick. I wrote that down. I wrote that down.
it's
That's fucking
it's kind
awful.
of it's kind of painful to put these so close to each other and in this order.
Yeah, Two Towers is like, no hate to Edge of Tomorrow. It's a fine movie. It is not better than the fucking Two Towers, man.
Yeah, I
You're on
like
crack.
who's going back to Edge of Tomorrow for the action scenes,
Yeah, yeah,
and who's
exactly.
back to the Two Towers? Everyone.
Everyone, yeah, exactly. Everyone goes back to the Two Towers for the fucking Battle of Helm's Deep, one of the best fucking action scenes of all time,
And
dude.
everyone watches the whole movie up to the battle because that's what makes the
Exactly.
battle so good.
Oh my god, the pacing, the build up. Oh my, I will say, Two Towers is my favorite of the trilogy. Would you agree with that?
Um, it's very good, but I gotta give it up for Fellowship. I
You like
really like
Fellowship more.
I do.
I I go back and forth on which one is the worst, but I always say Two
I mean,
Towers is
both
my favorite.
both are very good. Both are very good. Both could like take a spot here, but
Yeah,
I mean, as far as like putting one as an action movie, Two Towers is more fitting. I
I would say
just
Two Towers
really,
is the best as an action film,
yeah,
at least.
I like the fellowship dynamic because you don't really get that in the other movies.
That is true. That is true. I will agree with that. That is a part that is sorely lacking in the rest of
Like
the films.
all of the interactions with Gandalf and the hobbits are golden, and you don't
Yeah.
really get those until the end of the third movie.
Yeah.
So it's just something worth considering and ranking them.
That is true. I would say if you're only going to watch one, Return of the King is probably the worst. Like, it's just a bit overlong, and it sort of gets a little. I don't know about like
My
dry, but like,
girlfriend's seen that movie. That's the only Lord of the Rings movie she's seen, and she saw it on an airplane.
I mean, it's a good way to spend. I'm not saying that any of these movies are anything less than a 9 out of 10.
Well,
They're all that good,
I'm very
but
curious how it's like possible to see everything in the third movie on
not the
a
first two.
no, just on an airplane screen.
Yeah, that is kind of not the way to do it. So, what I would say my favorite Lord of the Rings viewing experience was like for 3 nights in a row. I watched it I watched the extended editions on. My stepmom had like a really, really, really big TV, like I think
Really,
taller than
really,
I
really
am,
big.
like taller than I am, and it was like it was fucking phenomenal. The extended editions are really good. So just one night for one movie, and it was just, oh my god, it was phenomenal. And I would say watching them all in a row, Return of the King is the best. But if you're only gonna watch one, Fellowship is a better individual watch than Return of the King. Um, but Two Towers is
Yes.
still better than both. Two Towers is fucking amazing. Best film in the franchise. You'll love to see it. Um, I hate every time someone says that the Two Towers is the worst one. Uh, an angel dies.
How can they say that? You
Exactly.
just, I mean,
Yeah. But Return of the King hits so hard when you watch them all in a row. It's so good.
yeah,
It's so
but
fucking good.
it kind of needs the other two to have any weight,
Yeah.
which you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. But speaking of trilogies, after Edge of Tomorrow is Empire Strikes Back. And then at 24 is Fast 5.
The
Fast
f-
5.
the fifth one.
Fast 5 is not even the best Fast and Furious movie, let alone better than fucking Empire Strikes Back. You are on crack. This author is on fucking crack. Kill Bill 1 and 2, those are two movies. You cannot you can't put those together. They're two movies. That's not fair. Can't do that. And then Logan after that. I mean, that is a good choice. Putting it in the top 25, that does make sense.
It's kind of weird
Snowpiercer
to.
is
It's
not
still
better.
kind of. I don't know if the actions like. I wonder how this list is being subjected. Is it by how good the action is or how good the movie is?
It's by how much the production companies paid to have their movies on this list in order to boost streaming sales.
Say no more.
That's how much it is. Snowpiercer at 21. I would say Logan is better than Snowpiercer. Casino Royale at number 19. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Casino Royale is better than Logan or Empire Strikes Back or Two Towers. I would say it's better than GoldenEye and
Logan?
Goldfinger. No, Casino Royale better than
Oh,
yeah. I I like Casino Royale a lot.
it's
I think
kind
it
of
doesn't have a great ending, honestly. Like
yeah, where like
the
she dies.
yeah.
Spoilers. She dies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I mean like the very ending where like he shows up to what's his face's house and he's like, the name's Bond, James Bond. That's fucking great. But in between that and Lashif dying, that period isn't all that good. Everything up to Lashif dying is perfect. Everything and then everything after that kind of goes downhill up until that ending scene when the James Bond theme fucking plays and it's amazing.
I
That's
mean,
yeah,
I think what kind of happens in the end is fitting for a Bond movie, but I will agree, it's probably not the best
yeah,
example of that ending
yeah. But all right.
in the
How do we feel
franchise.
about the theme song for? Let's do the Craig era theme song tier list real quick.
Okay,
Okay,
so Skyfall's at the top.
Skyfall is at the top. That is true.
All right, where do we go from here? I mean, maybe that Billie Eilish song goes next.
Billie Eilish is really fucking good. It's really fucking. Is it better than Chris Cornell? No, but it's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. That I was really surprised with. I did not listen to that song. So it came out when the movie was supposed to come out. I did not watch it because like it came out in like March 2020, and then they canceled the release of the movie. But like I did not listen to that song until the movie came out. I had very low expectations. I was like, you know what? Billie Eilish made one good song because I was not like a Billie Eilish fan. I was not listening to her album tracks, right? So I heard
Right.
one good song from her, and I was like, you know what? That it was really good, but it could have been a fluke. I'm gonna wait and listen until I have the context of the film. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. she's
The music.
she's really good. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, really good. But Chris Cornell's better. I'm sorry.
I don't
I
even
love
remember what movie, what song.
Chris Cornell did Casino Royale. It was
Oh,
You Know My Name.
oh.
I,
I'll have
yeah.
to go listen to that again.
Oh, I love it because it's like almost the classic James Bond theme, the guitar riff at the beginning,
Right.
and that like goes through the whole song. It's almost the James Bond theme, but not quite. So they used that riff instead of the James Bond theme throughout the movie because he hasn't earned it yet until the very end when they actually play the real one, and that's fucking great.
That is
But
cool. That's kind of fitting for like I mean, like what is it called? A remake? A
I think it is technically a reboot.
revival? A
I think it's
reboot.
technically a reboot. Yeah, yeah. It is a full reboot.
So
Yeah,
good,
they
good choice for a reboot.
yes they redid the whole continuity for that. Because remember they brought Blofeld in even though he had already been killed. So yeah,
Hmm.
so it is a full reboot. But oh man, yeah, Casino Royale. I really liked all the intros in in all those movies. I really liked like the art direction and like the animation for all of those, right? Because Casino Royale, you got like the playing cards, and Skyfall, you got like all the I it was good. All of them were good. All right, I would and here's an upset choice here, right? I would put Alicia Keys lower than Sam Smith for James Bond themes. I think Sam Smith did a better job. I A lot of people say Radiohead's was better, and here's my really big upset. I know that I'm gonna go to hell for saying this. I liked Sam Smith's James Bond theme more than I liked Radiohead's. Right? I don't
On
like
the record.
Radiohead's Spectre. I don't think it would have fit. I think it's too slow and too fucking somber and sad and boring. Okay? I think what is it? Writings on the Wall is fucking good, right? I've never been like a Sam Smith hater. I'm gonna be honest with you, but
Damn.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good one, and I didn't like Alicia Keys's. So there's my hot take. I'm going to hell for that, but I don't even care. I don't even care. Suck it, Tom York. go go re-release Creep. Go.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like Radiohead. I do, but I don't like Spectre. I don't think it was that good a song, and I don't think it would have worked as James Bond intro. But back to the list. Mission Impossible Fallout at number 18, better than Casino Royale, is certainly a hot take. But I don't know if it's one I would disagree with. I like Mission Impossible Fallout. I would say it's easily the best in the franchise. Wouldn't you agree?
I haven't seen it, but everyone I've spoken to about this franchise agrees with you.
Yeah.
So,
I think Mission Impossible, aside from Mission Impossible 2, I think it's only gotten better, like as it goes. Like one was good, it was like a fun, pulpy action movie. 2 was what was it? Was it John Woo or Ang Lee? I don't remember. I think it was I think it was the same guy who did Face Off, and that was awful. Mission Impossible 2 was shitty. Mission Impossible 3 had fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I don't need to say anything more about that.
there you go.
Mission Impossible 4 was what was that? Ghost Protocol. That one was fun. 5 was what was it? Was that Rogue Nation or yeah. Is Mission okay? All right, yeah. So it is Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation, and that one was fine. And then Fallout is just amazing. Fallout is perfect. Yeah. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon at number 17. Yup. Yes, sir. Makes sense. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I'm going to do a hot take. I'm going to do another hot take. I don't think Terminator 2 Judgment Day is better than sorry, my roommate just came home and I just broke my train of thought. Better than Two Towers. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of twos on this list, right? There's a lot of middle entries in trilogies, and that trend continues.
Yeah, usually the second entry is like
Yeah,
the the one that ages out the best.
yeah. Speaking of which, number 14 is The Dark Knight. Hi, dog. Why are you yelling? Please don't yell. Dark Knight
Good.
at number 14.
Respectable
Born
take.
Identity. Born Identity at number 12. I think that's a bit of a fucking crackhead take. I'm gonna be honest with you.
This movie beats so many other films.
Yeah,
I have
It
to
is not
figure
better
that
than The
out.
Dark Knight.
How is this movie so much better than everything else?
Um, Raiders of the Lost Ark at number 11. Good choice. Aliens. Yet
Another
again.
second entry.
Yep, another second entry. At number 10. Makes sense. Here's the worst pick on the list. Black Panther at number 9. Black Panther is not the 9th best action movie of all time. I'm sorry, but if you believe this, you have not seen 9 action movies. If you have seen 9 action movies, you have seen 9 action movies better than Black Panther. The action in Black Panther is the worst part.
I I'm convinced this movie began the trend of um, like CGI fights that are too hard to follow.
No, there were some other ones before that point.
This
But
one was very egregious,
it was really
and
bad, and the
it
CG
does
was really bad.
it doesn't make the whole movie worse, but it does make the action worse.
What I will say is it's insane that Ryan Coogler made such shitty action scenes in that, considering he directed the first Creed movie, which has great action scenes and great cinematography.
Well, I mean, I think it's very different trying to capture fight choreography between superheroes and boxers.
Yes, but if you have CGI to do your fight scenes, right? If you can make a fight scene
And they did.
where
They
two
did have
people are
CGI.
actually beating the snot out of each other in Creed, and you made that believable and you shot that well, but you can't even do that with CGI when there's not even any real people on the screen. If you cannot even make that work, like, what the fuck are you doing, Ryan?
Well,
Kugels, what are you
I
doing?
don't, I don't see how those two very different skills translate into one another.
I think it's all
I
very
think
similar.
one, I
I
think
think
one
this
can
is the
be good
difference.
and bad.
I think this is the difference where it's like, if you're saying, oh, an animated CGI one take can't be good cinematography because it's all animated, I disagree. I think you need the ability to do good cinematography with real actors in order to do good cinematography with animation, right? I would say that requires more skill, not less, right? But if you can shoot a fight scene with real people, I would say shooting a fight scene with real people is harder, but like, if it's just a fight scene, right? Not if
Mhm.
there's like nothing else going on the screen, if it's just a fight scene between two CGI people, that should not be difficult. And I don't know how Kugels fucked that up. Kugels, you done fucked it up. But I still love Creed 1. It's still really good. Um
Everything, all the other action in this movie, I should say, is good.
it's okay. I mean,
I mean,
like the
it's not top 10. I think
it's not
that should
top
be
50.
clarified.
It's not top 50. I wouldn't even say it's top 100.
But I really like the fights they do, like the ceremonial fights they do, as well as
Those
the
are fun.
action in the beginning of the movie. Those are both pretty well done,
I didn't
and
like
the
the fight
director
scene.
deserves credit for that.
I didn't like the fight scene where he was like in like the darkness and he's like rescuing Lupita Nyong'o. I didn't like that. I thought it was shot really shittily. It was like shaky cam and too many cuts. And that's
That's
all the
fair.
fucking Marvel fight scenes. Shaky cam and too many
Oh,
cuts.
I can't even forget the time when like they have a car chase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And, like, I think that is the same movie where like, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe that happened in Wakanda Forever, where like Okoye sticks a spear in the bottom of the car to
No,
like.
that was in. Okay, the stuff in like South Korea was pretty fun. I will say that.
All right, it seems like
That
we've talked
but
ourselves
I forgot that
into
that
it.
was in there. That's the problem. Is I forgot that part was in there. Um. All right. How about the Matrix at number 6? How do we feel about that?
Well, why not?
I don't hate it.
This
I don't hate that
this
choice. That's okay.
this movie kind of revolutionized action scene shots.
Yeah. John Wick at number 3. Uh Now this was written in 2021. John Wick 1 through 3 were out at this time. I would say John Wick 2 is probably better than John Wick 1.
I have only seen the third one.
So you're just like your girlfriend who's only seen fucking Return of the King.
Right. This movie was
That's the
so
worst one.
crazy.
That's the
This
worst one.
how I s- I don't know. I still think everything I've heard about the movie afterwards makes less sense.
No, John Wick
And
4
the
is
th-
amazing.
and the th- I don't know. I just really liked the third movie. I liked how the third movie was like the end, where these two people who are professional uh, fighters are just like getting tired fighting. It's such a funny element to the fight
Yeah,
scene.
I would say you should watch John Wick 4. If you like comedic slapstick elements in serious gory gritty action, John Wick 4 is pretty
That
good.
was in three. It's okay. It's fine.
Watch
I'll just never watch any movie other than John Wick 3. And
John
just
Wick 4 is so good. John Wick 2 is really good. John Wick 1 is the most personal and the most like grounded,
see,
but also it's fucking
I just
boring.
I just don't even know why he's running away. I mean, he killed someone in the place where he shouldn't have killed someone. And
Yes.
so now they're all after him. Okay, never mind.
You got
I do
I
know.
started with John Wick 2. Um and then John Wick 2, John Wick 3, and then I watched John Wick 1 before I watched John Wick 4. So, yeah. But no, John
Seems
Wick
like
2 is really good.
I have uh I can't be penalized for what order I watch it in.
My favorite scene in the entire franchise happens in John Wick 2, and it's not even a fight scene. It's it's the scene where uh the Peter Serafinowicz, aka the original voice of Darth Maul, uh is just like recommending him guns. It's the best scene in the entire fucking franchise. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um but yeah, John Wick 1 at number 3. I mean, you know what? Fine. Die Hard at number 2. Um I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It's pretty good. And then Mad Max Fury Road at number 1. I haven't seen Fury Road.
Oh, you have not? Are you serious?
You haven't seen the other 3 John Wick movies, so you're one
Yeah,
to
but
talk.
I've at least seen this movie. This movie
I
is
will.
so wild. They like took several months to get all the action scenes down because they're so convoluted.
All right, fine, 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 fine. I will go and watch it, but you have to watch the rest of the fucking John Wick franchise.
I actually
So
don't believe that's a fair exchange. You're asking me to watch 6 hours of movies when this is like
I don't think it is 6 hours.
hours.
I think it's 7.
S-
John Wick
I-
4
My
is
case
3
still
hours.
stands.
If Fury Road is so good, it should be worth it, right?
I mean, it is.
So then
It is
there you
watching
go. You're welcome.
three mediocre movies
Shut the
compared to.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, they are not mediocre. They're fucking brilliant. Everyone and their mother is trying to copy them now. So, no, they can't be that mediocre. I let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this. Before we go to the ad break, let me tell you this. I think I've said it before on the podcast, but I didn't watch the original John Wick for a long time because I thought it was just going to be like some cheesy fucking like cheesy schlocky bullshit movie, right? I did not and I think a lot of people thought that going into it. No one had any idea that it was going to be as well shot as it was. Honestly, they have been getting snubbed because for every single fucking movie, they should be getting best cinematography. 100%. The fucking cinematography in these movies is brilliant. Chad Stahelski goes crazy.
You know, since we were talking about or we were complaining about bad cinematography, I'll give it that.
Yeah, the cinematography is really fucking good. Even in John Wick 3, right? the fight scenes in that, I would say John Wick 3 has some of my favorite fight scenes. Um, but like story wise, it's just not my favorite. What was it? The fight scene with the two dogs. That one might be my favorite in the franchise. I will say, it's really good. It's really really good. Um, but yeah, that Born Identity being better than The Dark Knight, that's crazy. Fast
Yeah.
5 at 24 when Empire Strikes Back is at number 27 is also fucking crazy.
Yeah, Fast Five really is putting in the work.
Fucking ridiculous. I thought Fast 7 was the good one. I like Fast 9. Fast 9 was fucking funny. They went to fucking space. Come on, man. That was hilarious. But yeah. Let's go to the ad break because after this, we have another list to shit on. So, there you go. Stay tuned. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnering with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHS all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHS again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This episode has been generously sponsored by skunknuggetparenting.com, run by my own talented mother. Parenting is hard. Sometimes kids and parents are like night and day. It can be very hard to get on the same page with them, and a lot of parents have anxiety that maybe they're doing it all wrong. Luckily, there is a service out there that can help. Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions is a company that provides parent coaching services, resource referrals, and psychological profiling, along with 24/7 phone and text access in an all virtual program. Plus, the first consultation is free. In order to get this amazing service, please visit skunknuggetparenting.com. That is skunknuggetparenting.com. Thank you to Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions for sponsoring this episode. Thank you all for listening. And now, back to the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We're here. Thank you for sticking with us. And we've got another list to talk about. Okay. So, YouTuber Shay Frillis put out a video talking about his Steven Spielberg filmography rankings. He went through every single Spielberg movie and he ranked them from worst to best. And there's some problems on here. I'm gonna say. Now I haven't seen these. Yeah. Are you looking at these? Are you looking at these? Oh, it's rough. It's rough. So, no, absolutely he wouldn't. Absolutely he wouldn't. Um, yep. He put Lincoln underneath both of them, bro. The man is on crack. All right. I'm not the I've seen Hook, I think, in bits and pieces. I didn't mark it as being one that I've fully seen. All right. Yeah. That's kind of what he said about it when he was like talking about the ranking. He said it's a bad movie, but it's fun, and you can tell people had fun making it. Oh, 100% he did. All right, so here's my list, right? Here's I'm gonna start at the bottom, and we're gonna make our way up of all the things that are absolutely fucking mind-boggling on this list. Now, I would say always 1941 makes sense that they're that low. Um, BFG, I mean, he hasn't read the book. I read the book. I've read the book. I will say the book of the BFG is my favorite Roald Dahl novel. It's yeah, 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 but it's good. It's good. I like it. I think it's a good movie. Um, but it's a way better story. Like I think you have to like the film in order to, or you have to like the book in order to like the film. So I Shea Frillis said he didn't read the book, and I think that makes sense. And I think he just wouldn't have liked the book. That's just mean. That's just mean. Um um Ready Player One above the BFG, I would disagree with. I would say Ready Player One is fucking awful, but also Steven Spielberg made it infinitely better than how it is written. I don't know if you've ever read Ready Player One. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's I wouldn't blame you, right? That would ruin print media for me, man. Joy. Exactly. It's so bad. Ernest Klein should be locked up. Take away all his writing utensils. Do not let this man cook. But yeah, Ready Player One, fucking awful. I would say putting Jurassic Park 2 over Ready Player One is probably smart. I would say it's better than Crystal Skull. Jurassic Park 2 is fine. Warhorse, I haven't seen, but it's like, why would you put it so low? It's fine. Lincoln is so good. You are on crack if you don't like Lincoln. He thinks it's boring. He thinks Lincoln is boring. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go to hell. That's awful. That is an awful take. And you're a bad person for having it, Schaeferless. Um, he's a Crystal Skull defender. He's a Crystal Skull defender and a Temple of Doom hater. So the fact that they are like, there's only 3 movies in between them is bullshit. He did. Well, even if you hate Temple of Doom, you have to admit it's better than fucking Crystal Skull. But he says that the raft scene and the fridge scene are equally implausible, and I disagree with that. I very much disagree with that. Uh, the raft scene, when they jump out of the plane on the raft. I don't care. Falling down the waterfall and the fridge scene. Also, it's like 3 waterfalls, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to hear it. Fuck you. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is probably his worst movie, honestly. I it it should absolutely be lower than Jurassic Park 2. Jurassic Park 2 is fine. Okay? It's fine. Um Jaws at number 18 is a fucking crackhead take. Putting West Side Story 2021 over Indiana Jones 2 is fucking crackhead take as well, by the way. He did. He's an ET hater as well. Putting Munich over Jaws. Putting Munich over Jaws is kind of ridiculous as well. Putting War of the Worlds over Jaws is fucking mind-boggling. Absolute mind-boggling. Tintin 2011. Right up. No, it's not better than Temple of Doom, I would say, but it's good. Raiders at number 12. Raiders is at number 12. There are not 11 movies better than Raiders, period. Raiders of the Lost Ark is not only Spielberg's best movie, it might be the best movie of all time. So The Terminal going at number 10, Catch Me If You Can at number 9, The Post at number 8 is fucking ridiculous. How does... I mean, Raiders needs to go above Jaws. I'm a Jaws defender. Jaws is maybe my favorite horror movie of all time. Jaws ain't shit compared to Raiders, right? Raiders is perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not even a hater of those movies, right? The Post is generic as fuck. Yeah. Minority Report. All right. AI artificial intelligence at number 6 is a crackhead take. Minority Report. Yeah. Minority Report at number 5 is kind of a crackhead take as well. It's fine. It's not better than Raiders. Mm-hmm. It's perfectly competent. It is 100% competent. It is not a perfect movie like Raiders is, right? Like, it has to, like, yeah. Minority Report is good. It's just not, um, it's just not fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark or Jaws. And also, here's another take that I don't feel like it's a hot take, but I still feel like it is a take. Um, Putting Jurassic Park over Raiders, I would disagree with. Um, would you agree with? Would you agree that Jurassic Park is better, or would you agree with me? I am currently judging you right now, so there is a correct answer here. But yeah. Also, I can't hear you, by the way. Oh God, I think we lost Max. Okay, we fixed it. Max is back. Um, just a quick little disconnect there. But would you say Jurassic Park is better than Raiders, or would you say no?
No.
Would you say Jurassic Park is better than Jaws?
Um, well, here's the thing: is I haven't actually watched Jaws.
What?
Yeah,
What?
still haven't seen it.
I would say we should do an IIHS watch party, but I don't want to ruin it for you. You need to watch it by yourself.
Yeah, I
Because
need
it's
to watch it
really
by myself.
fucking good, man. It's
I'm so
really good.
I'm so confused how he put Last Crusade so high up. Everything he might like about Last Crusade, he only likes because
Raiders did
it
it
happened
first.
and Raiders did it first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that he says the opposite thing. He says that everything that's good about Raiders is better than in Last Crusade. And I don't
It's
agree
just
with that.
not.
I
The
don't agree with that.
the female lead is weaker, the villain is weaker, Saul is weaker.
No,
They all
Sala. Sala is a little weaker in Last Crusade, but I would say Brody is better in Last Crusade, and I would say Indy's dad being with him for most of the plot rather than Marion works a little bit better.
These
But
other
other
people
than
get
that,
nerfed, and as a result of that, Indiana Jones is nerfed.
yeah,
Because if he doesn't have a compelling villain and female lead, why are we all here?
Indy I would say
We should just
is
go home. Forget the Grail. It's
yeah,
not it's not worth combating the guy who's also after it. I don't know. I
yeah.
honestly
He
like no one does it like what's his name? Uh
Paul Freeman. That's the
no.
actor who plays Belloc.
I just mean Belloc
Yeah,
himself.
yeah.
Belloc
Um,
is the best antagonist to Indiana Jones. And
so
so
he said that Belloc was a really bad villain, and I'm like, dude, Walter Donovan is
what?
fucking weak as hell.
What? How can he have this take?
Yeah,
How can he have this take?
yeah. I think he thinks Elsa is more of the main antagonist of the film, and I would agree with that. She gets the most screen time, and I would say she's a better antagonist than fucking Walter Donovan. But no, Last Crusade is not better than Raiders. It's the second best Indiana Jones movie. They're both at least a 9 out of 10. But it's not better. It's not. It's not. And then Saving Private Ryan, I actually just rewatched it in order to like be able to talk about this list.
Yeah.
It is what I will say about it, right? Like I don't want to call it like it's not a bad movie by any means. Overall quality, not even like it's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10, but it is a fucking harrowing experience, right? Like
Is it
it's
because of the themes or because of how the film is made?
like it is like because of the like the way the film is made, right?
I see.
Like the dread of like build up when you know what the D-Day scene is, when you've seen some of it, right? Like when you're in the boat watching them move up to D-Day, it's there's a pit of dread because you're like, oh shit. But what I will say about it is I don't think the action is as well shot as it should be. I think it's got a little too much shaky cam for my liking. Um and I think after D-Day, it sort of D-Day, first of all, technically not really all that necessary to the plot, but how could they not include it, right? If you've got that much budget, you might as well, and it's fucking good. But I would say after D-Day, it kind of loses steam a lot. It's not. It sort of loses the quality a little bit there after D-Day because you know. Do you agree with that? Have you seen it? I probably should
No,
have asked if you've even seen it.
no. I'm actually looking at this list. I realize how short I am
Yeah, me too.
on watching Spielberg movies.
Yeah, I have seen of these. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in their entirety. And yeah,
10. I wonder
yeah.
if I have more, but I probably don't.
So on the list, you have there's like a little check mark that you can do to see like, yeah, I've seen these. But yeah, I've seen 10 out of 34 of
All
these
right.
in their
I will
entirety.
I will do that too.
Yeah.
I will
Putting
check them
Schindler's
off.
List higher than Saving Private Ryan makes sense. Putting Schindler's List at the top probably makes sense. I'm not gonna fault him for that. He sort of talks about it in the video where he's like, Last Crusade is my favorite movie, but Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan are better movies, and I sort of understand that. Like,
I've seen one more movie than you have on this list.
yeah, So some of the interesting ones that I
Oh,
haven't seen.
actually, two more. I've seen two more movies than you have. That doesn't make any sense. How have I seen more movies on this list than you?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not really much of a Spielberg guy. I'm I don't really go by directors,
But I haven't
honestly.
even seen like some of the biggest movies on this list. Like I
That is
haven't seen
true.
Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, or Jaws, and yet I still have seen more Spielberg in, uh, I guess, quantity alone.
Saving Private Ryan, yeah, it's harrowing. It you get like a pit in your stomach. Um
Yeah, I've heard.
I really like it. I think it's fucking good. Um but I don't think it's better than Raiders. Raiders is fucking perfect. I don't even think like in terms of like filmmaking quality or importance, I think uh Raiders is better. But I will say Saving Private Ryan is kind of cheating in the same way that Lincoln is kind of cheating, in that if you just use real life quotes from Abraham Lincoln, it makes your movie better. Because Abraham Lincoln was a fucking just absolute G, right? 299 to 1 pro wrestling career. Only US president to own to hold a patent. Fucking just absolute G. One of the best public speakers we've ever had in the country, period. And
Uh,
yeah,
Hosted the largest public, the largest mass execution or public execution in the United States.
hell yeah, you love to see it. Good job, Lincoln. We
Good
he is
job,
number one.
Lincoln. Good job, Lincoln. You are
You're
number
number
one in that.
16 on the list, but you're number one in my heart, baby.
You are number one in largest executions in the United States.
I mean, based. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
The fact that they were Americans,
Were they, or were they Confederates? Because they don't count.
they were Native Americans.
Oh, all right, true. I mean, yeah. Eh. Well, okay. I don't know how the legal citizenship thing works for Native Americans. Are they citizens of their nation? Do they get a U.S. passport? Do they have dual citizenship? I don't know how that works.
Well, what should they be?
Um, I think they would prefer to be citizens of their tribe rather than citizens of the United States. But
Well,
I would
it's a very
like pride
complex
wise.
question because, you know,
Yeah,
some don't even like being referred to as a tribe.
yeah,
In fact, uh, communally, they don't.
yeah. What's also interesting is a lot of them don't mind being called Indians. Like I would think Native American
Do
would
you
be
do
more
you say
politically
that on
correct.
behalf of all of them? Because I
No,
don't.
but like a lot of them, like if you do the research on it, a lot of them refer to themselves as Indians. They're like, we're American Indians. A lot of their organizations are still called American Indians. If you, yeah, like if you
I
talk
would
to them,
I would need to like I would need some evidence to uh to for take your
I think
word on
it's,
it.
I think it's like the Latin X thing, where like no actual Latino person says that, and it's like white people are insisting on it for political correctness.
Right.
But
So
yeah,
how does this apply to calling them American Indians?
because I think they don't mind being called that. Like a lot of it's obviously I don't want to speak for anyone as a monolith because especially for Native Americans, you know, like they are like so many different like groups, right? The Yucatec Maya are different from the Cherokee Indians versus the fucking Inca, right? Like it's
Right.
there's so many different like people. So it's
Right.
you can't speak for all of them, but a staggering number are totally fine with being referred to as American Indians. So I, I just think that's interesting. But I think I would say, with my uninformed opinion, I would say that politically speaking, they would probably prefer to be referred to as citizens of their nation, but like pragmatically speaking, they would want to be American citizens because, like, obviously, you know, you want to be able to vote and do all that sort of thing and be afforded the protections of that. So I think having like a dual citizenship thing makes sense. But um yeah, that's my guess. Is like, yeah. But anywho,
I mean, that's not a bad idea. That's kind of a creative spin, is to say
that's
that, you know, they're,
yeah.
I mean, it, you know, there's not, I don't think there should be anything wrong with giving them more, um, you know,
Yeah.
freedoms.
And I know some nations have their own like passports. Um which brings me to another thing we wanted to talk about. We had some actual good news last week. Um which is that I think both Joe Biden himself and the Canada sportman said that that there's like this like nation of like lacrosse players who are like third best in the world, um who want to play for themselves rather than for Canada or the United States in the Olympics. Joe Biden and the Canada sport minister were like, yeah, that makes sense. They should be able to play for their own nation rather than for us. So hopefully the Olympic Committee listens to that, but I'm in full support of that, considering Native Americans invented um, lacrosse. They should absolutely be allowed to play. Um, but yeah, I have some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, tell
Uh,
us.
so as I was looking for some movies to watch, because like finals had like started and I didn't really want to like study for them because a lot of them were just open note anyway. And the others weren't really like tests, if that makes sense. I don't know. But like I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I don't really feel like streaming tonight. I want to watch a movie. And so as I was on like Paramount Plus and Peacock and um HBO Max and Amazon Prime, I was in the sitcom section because I was like, you know what? I could watch TV too. Why not? And I noticed that they called the Andy Griffith Show a sitcom.
Right.
And my immediate first thought was, well, I mean, there are a lot of situations. I wouldn't say there's a lot of comedy, you know? It's not, people really weren't funny back in the 1950s. You know what I mean? Like, Abbott and Costello did the first funny joke, which was who's on first. And then after that, no one was funny until Eddie Murphy did Raw. Yeah, maybe Carlin. Maybe Carlin. Carlin was funny too. But in between the 1930s and the 1970s/80s, no one was funny. No one. There
Damn.
was no funny. The World War II
The no funny
killed
era.
being funny. Yeah, World War II killed being funny, and then back in the 80s, people figured it out again. Uh, but
There was a
yeah,
recession of funny.
there was
There was no more funny.
40 years. The U.S. funny reserves dropped to zero. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Um,
People
I
don't talk about that.
yeah. If I was alive in between the fucking 30s and the 70s, I would have killed myself. I'll be honest with
Oh,
you. The the music, I will say the music was fucking top tier, but nobody was funny. There were no jokes. There were no jokes. There were no good comedies. I Love Lucy is not funny. The Andy Griffith Show is not funny. Um, it's
stop
really
laughing,
ironic.
y'all. Stop
It's
laughing.
it's really ironic that Ron Howard helped create one of the funniest shows of all time because he was on the Andy Griffith Show and it wasn't funny. It wasn't at all. Zero funnies. No laughs. Not
No
funny.
funnies to be had.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that was the night when I watched Saving Private Ryan. I was like, you know what? I'm in a Spielberg mood. Let's watch Saving Private Ryan. Whew. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun, they said.
I will say it's not the D-Day scene that really did it for me. It was the Bixby letter. Every time they bring up the fucking Bixby letter, it is absolutely soul crushing. That is, yeah, Abraham Lincoln was an absolute G. And you just like you got to think
Except
about
for all
it,
the
right?
bad stuff he did.
What bad stuff? What bad stuff?
The
He
stuff we
defeated the
just talked about.
Confederacy. No, he defeated the Confederacy. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. Killing more slaveholders was worth it. Fuck yeah. It's like when Sherman marched from the Mississippi to the Atlantic and he burned everyone alive and he killed everyone. And that's why nobody lives from the coast of Georgia to the Mississippi River. It's all just a barren wasteland. Nobody lives there anymore.
Oh damn.
Yeah, based 100%. General Sherman only did one bad thing during his march to the sea, which was that he stopped. Should have kept going. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The surrender wasn't unconditional enough.
we're in the dark era now.
Hey man, I love killing Confederates. They should have sent me back to the fucking 1860s. I would have won the war in about 10 minutes.
You tell
You
us.
know, I think we should when I become president, I'm going to remove Stone Mountain. I'm going to make all the what is it called? The Daughters of the Confederacy. I'm going to make them watch as I, with the full support of the American government, put a bunch of dynamite in Stone Mountain and blow it to fucking bits. Because it's like the Confederate version of Mount Rushmore. So, if you weren't aware. But, yeah. Blow that shit to bits. Absolutely just destroy it and make them watch. And then bottle up their tears and put it on display in the Library of Congress. Because fuck you.
Cause fuck you, that's why.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm a Virginian, but I can say, fuck the South, fuck the Confederacy. They're a bunch of fucking cuck soy boy losers. And they should fucking cry harder. Fucking yeah. But
Toast to that.
speaking of presidents, Joe Biden got impeached. How do you feel about that?
Did he really?
Yes.
I thought that was a joke.
No, the House officially opened articles of impeachment against him.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, they're fucking stupid. Or they've formalized an impeachment inquiry. It was completely party line, 221 to 212 to begin the inquiry. And of course the Republicans are saying, "Oh, they didn't give us the evidence. They didn't give us the evidence." Mike Johnson, maybe you should provide some evidence of you getting bitches, bro. I don't like this new speaker. I think he's a cuck. I think he's an absolute cuck. I would love to be. I would love to fucking take him to the boxing ring.
It seems like America loses
I want to
every election.
I want to legally beat the shit out of Mike Johnson. I want to legally take him to the fucking octagon, UFC style, and just kick his ass. Right? Mutual combat, Mike. Let's go. Me and you in the octagon. You know what? We'll set up an octagon in the halls of Congress, right? In the hall of the House of Representatives. I will take you to the octagon and I will lay you out like a fucking. I will flatten you like a pancake. Me and you, right now, let's go. And if you don't respond to this within 24 hours of this going up on Tuesday, you're a pussy and you have to resign. How about that?
Oh shit. Well,
Do you agree with that?
he's been warned.
He has. He's a pussy. He's a little cuck. He's a little cuck boy. But Hunter Biden defied a subpoena, and people are like, Joe Biden. There was an article about Joe where it's like, Joe Biden gets really upset when you bring up Hunter and like his behavior, and it's like, well, no shit. His fucking son's being investigated for all these crimes and shit. Of course, he's gonna be a little upset about that.
A
He's
little
his
upset.
fucking dad, yeah?
Yeah.
If your fucking son was being investigated by the fucking FBI and the NSA and the fucking uh, FDA
Yeah,
and
would you
the
be upset too?
SEC, yeah,
Probably.
exactly. Yeah,
These
Mike
people were
Johnson is a
like,
pussy.
why is the president so mad at us for investigating his son? Why
Yeah,
would he have an issue with this? It's not like, that's family to him.
exactly. I have another political figure I wanted to talk about. Um, are you familiar with Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr.? I don't know if it's actually Fitzgerald Kennedy. It's RFK. It might be Francis.
I'm not sure.
So
What's new?
RFK Jr. is it's Francis. Sorry, it's not Fitzgerald. Um he's running for president right now. He was a Democrat, but the Democrats fucking laughed him out, and now he's an independent. And he is an anti-vaxxer. Um like since 2005, right? He didn't start when it was COVID. He's like he's been on that shit for 18 years, right? Um and he's like one of the leading proponents of like COVID misinfo. Um
Great.
um yeah. So what I said to him on Twitter was he still manages to be the dumbest member of the Kennedy family, even though one of them got a lobotomy and the other one got canoed by an ex-Marine. I don't know if you're familiar with what canoeing is, are you?
No.
So, getting canoed is when you shoot someone in the head and it like creates a little V shape down their head, and you can like see their brain, and it's like a little V shape, so their head looks like a little canoe.
I see.
So, in spite of John F. Kennedy getting his fucking brains blown out, and Rosemary Kennedy getting a fucking ice pick shoved in her frontal lobe, he still manages to be the dumbest Kennedy member. And I also said he is more of a disservice to his family name than the woman his uncle killed and got 2 months for. Are you familiar with that?
That's pretty. Why don't you explain it to us all?
So Ted Kennedy, who is Robbie Jr.'s uncle, is he was a senator until he died in about 2009. I think it was 2009. And back in the 80s, I believe, he drove off a bridge with a woman in his car, and she died, and he left the scene of the accident. And he got off super duper light because he was a fucking Kennedy. So he did not go to jail for very long. And he was allowed back into the Senate after that. So yeah, there's no justice for rich people. And I say this as like a fan of the Kennedys, right? Like there's still one Kennedy who's like active in politics. What's his name? Not Patrick. No, he's not still in Congress. Who's the other one? He's the little one. What's his name? Do you know his name? Maxwell?
Uh,
The
no.
the little one. The little baby one. Joseph Kennedy III. Uh, he he was in uh, uh, Congress for Massachusetts 4th District until 2021, and then he tried to run for state senate, and he lost against what's his fucking name? Ed Markey. He should have fucking taken out Markey. Markey sucks. He absolutely should have beaten Markey, but fucking whatever. Yeah, he sucks. But instead of that, now Kennedy is the special envoy for Northern Ireland, and he was he's also on CNN as well. So that's cool. I like him though. I think he's okay.
That's good.
Yeah, he's certainly a better envoy to Northern Ireland than fucking Mick Mulvaney. I mean, especially considering that Mick Mulvaney's last name literally has veiny in it, like a cock, which is what he is.
Well said.
Um. Also, I think he's going to jail. Hopefully,
Woof.
I wouldn't mind if they just came up with some charges and just sent him to jail. I don't care if they're true. Just send him to jail. I don't like him. Just send everyone to jail. Anyone who's not anyone who was involved in that fucking administration goes straight to jail. Was it Betsy DeVos? Straight to fucking jail. Mick Mulvaney, Mark Meadows, all those motherfuckers. Send them all to fucking jail. I don't care. Also, speaking of people on the right wing who belong in jail, Elon Musk and Alex Jones. Have you heard of the situation between them?
No, I've not.
So, when Elon Musk took over Twitter, people asked him if he was going to let Alex Jones back on the platform. And Elon said that like he was there when one of his children died, and he felt his child's last heartbeat. And he's like,
Jeez.
anyone who uses the death of children for political gain should not be on the platform. And then less than 2 years later, he said, you know what, we're gonna put it to a vote. Anyone who votes to have Alex Jones back on is if more people vote for that, we'll let him back on. And they did. And so Alex Jones is back on. So Elon Musk had a fucking Twitter space with him, and I think Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson were there as well.
So they legitimately are collaborating with one another.
Yeah. So Elon Musk is a fucking cuck, right? Imagine like bringing your own fucking like dead child up as to be like, yeah, this is why we'll never let this happen, and then letting it happen, right? Like, fuck
Right.
you, Elon. You're an absolute fucking coward. You know that? Like, imagine being such a fucking spineless piece of shit, right? Like, Alex Jones is going to hell, no matter what. Like, Alex Jones is like just the most retarded and he is both evil and retarded, right? The two mortal sins, right? But Elon Musk is even worse for being such a fucking cuck and a coward and letting him back on. So fuck you, Elon. Your dead child is looking down on you from heaven, telling you that you're a spineless piece of shit. Because you are. And no wonder your other children don't talk to you. You stupid, spineless, fucking coward. I can't wait. I can't wait until he finally collapses. When Elon Musk finally like has his mental breakdown and like everything in his life fucking falls apart, I'm going to enjoy it so much. Right? When he has his like Kanye moment, right? When everyone just stops working with him, it's going to be so fucking satisfying. Because he deserves it more than Kanye. I will say that. Elon Musk is worse than Kanye West. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, both. I I would say he's it's just like how influential are these people?
Yeah.
with what they
And
say.
I'll also say Elon Musk is not fucking funny either. He's just genuinely just a fucking
He's
like
just kind of
loser.
deranged. He's just
He's a
really deranged.
loser. He's a fucking loser. And hopefully, at some point, I'm going to be richer than him. I'm going to make Elon Musk look like a fucking uh, gigolo selling hand jobs for nickels, right? That's what I'm going to make him look like. I'm going to make him look fucking broke, right? I'm going to buy his whole shit, right? SpaceX, mine. Tesla, mine. Boring Company, mine. Twitter, mine. All of them. I'm going to own all of them. And I'm going to shut them all down just to watch him fucking cry and piss and shit and moan. Just to watch. Fuck
Oh,
you,
right.
Elon, you cuck. You're an absolute cuck. No wonder Grimes is getting dicked down by some other dude now. You pussy. You little bitch. That's right. Fuck you, Elon. Also, another thing Elon did, he's been talking about what is it? Gonzalo Lira. Uh you'll probably not know that name if you're not like really invested in the Ukraine Russia war. But I
Yeah.
am. So what I'll say is so Gonzalo Lira is a pro-Russian YouTuber. I'm not going to call him a journalist because he isn't. Um, and he's like, he literally like doxed Ukrainian positions to Russia, right? So and he makes like Russian propaganda. Buster, can you fucking not do that, please? Do you fucking mind? He's scratching at the door, and I'm like, if you can give me like 10 minutes, maybe I'll fucking get up and let you out, okay? Um, but um, uh, he got arrested by Ukraine, and Elon's like, you should let him go. He didn't do anything. He's just a journalist. No, fuck you, Elon. I hope Gonzalo Lira gets capital punishment. Honestly, because he's fucking hampering the Ukraine war effort, and now Ukraine has him literally in their fucking grasp. Right? They should absolutely just put him to the sword. 100%. Fuck him. Fuck Gonzalo Lira. I don't want to see any more of his dumb bullshit takes or hear his stupid bullshit voice or see his stupid bullshit face. Just wipe him out. Drop him from a plane with no parachute. I don't care. Do something with him, but I don't want to hear him anymore. Okay, Ukraine? And, you could say that he's like a spy, You could charge him with that and just give him the kangaroo court. I don't care. I'm normally not on the side of human rights abuses, but if it's Gonzalo Lira, I will look the other way just this once. Do whatever you want with him. Just, do whatever you want with him as long as it's something I want. So there you go. I would say generally that's how the world should work. Is do whatever I want as long as it's, or do whatever you want as long as it's whatever I want. Right?
Right.
Don't you agree with that?
That is the that is the take.
You're goddamn right it is, and it's beautiful. The world should absolutely work like that because I'm a fucking genius. And nobody else seems to understand that, but still a genius I remain. So, fuck everyone. I'm right. Let's do a big red button.
All right.
Um, hmm. We have to tie it to the shitty fucking action movies list. We have to tie it to that somehow.
All right. Well, what did you have in mind?
I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. All right, I have one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you press the big red button this week, you make the best action film of all time, but Rolling Stone puts Black Panther in front of it.
It gets on the list, though, right?
I mean, Black Panther going in front of it can mean Black Panther's on the list and it isn't, or Black Panther's at number 1 and you're at uh number 50. Somebody oh, I just remembered now. Somebody on Twitter did an edit of what is it from Get Out? You know, in Get Out when Bradley Whitford said, "Oh, I would have voted for Obama 3 times if I could." They edited it to say, "Oh, I put Black Panther at number 9 on the best action movies."
Yo.
It's true. It's true. It is absolutely true. If Black Panther was a white guy, right? If Black Panther was about white people and it was the exact same level of quality, it wouldn't be on the list. I would know because it's fucking Aquaman. Aquaman is White
Really?
Panther. It absolutely is. And guess what? It's not on the fucking list. So I don't want to hear it, okay? And what is it? Wonder Woman 2017. If Wonder Woman was about a dude, it wouldn't be on the list. I would know because Captain America the First Avenger is Wonder Woman about a fucking man, right? It's Wonder Man, you know?
It's a Wonder Man.
Except that one came out first, so I don't want to hear it. They absolutely. Black Panther only gets as good of reviews as it did because it's about black people. And I will say that. And you can say that makes the movie better for you, or you can say that it makes the movie worse for you if you're racist. But I am neutral on that end, and I will say that Black Panther is not that good. And I think it is overrated because it is about minority voices and because it is diverse. And you, Maxwell, I'm sure you can agree with that, being a diverse person yourself.
I am, yes.
Would you say that there are some movies that get overrated because they are diverse?
Like what?
Um, Black Panther, for example. Um, See, I was gonna say Shang-Chi, but I don't think Shang-Chi got as much overratedness as it would have. Um,
Well, I think, I don't think Black Panther is a bad movie, but I think that, you know, unfortunately, race will be a subject in the conversation
yeah.
about Black Panther for the rest of the time when race is not talked about for movies that don't include black people, where people are all members of a certain race.
Well, I will say, Creed is about black people, and that one's not overrated. Everything Everywhere All at Once is about Asian people, and that one's not overrated. I think there are certain movies that will get a pass because they are about people with high melanin counts. Um, Green Book, for example, Green Book won Best Picture. It did not deserve to win Best Picture. Like, let's all be honest with ourselves here. Even if you like the movie, which I did, it was not the Best Picture. We're not going to delude ourselves here, okay? So, no, Black Panther's fucking overrated, and a lot of those movies were in fucking ridiculous places. So, actually, you know what? All right, here's this. Um, uh, we'll revise the big red button here. How about um, you and Steven Spielberg collab, and you make the best movie ever, but Shea Frillis says that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is better.
Fuck. That's a way harder choice. Fuck you.
He also said that Dial of Destiny was worse than Crystal Skull, and I almost turned the video off right there. Because I don't even like Dial of Destiny all that much, but it's way fucking better than Crystal Skull. Jesus Christ. Like, did he watch Crystal Skull? Because we watched it about a week before Dial of Destiny came out. It was fucking bad. It was really bad. It's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Man, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was drunk and I was still struggling to get through it. It's bad. So, I don't want to hear it. Dial of Destiny is much better than fucking Crystal Skull. And I don't even like Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny is like a 6 out of 10. And Crystal Skull is a 2. If that. Fucking... You want to know the worst part? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn. I mean...
78! It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
6.2 on IMDb. It's ridiculous, man. 65 on Metacritic. Who is writing these? How much dick did Paramount have to suck in order to bribe all these fucking reviewers? It's so bad. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you if you like Crystal Skull. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You're
Go
wrong.
fuck yourself. But yeah, Big Red Button is Shea Frillis puts Crystal Skull ahead of your fucking movie.
Yeah, and you have to live with that.
You do. You do. That's fucking awful. That's just such a bad list. This is such a bad fucking list.
Yeah, he really let that out there for the world.
He just doesn't like Disney. That's the thing. He just doesn't like Disney. Right? Because if you think Dial of Destiny is worse than fucking Crystal Skull, you're wrong. Your entire existence is just wrong. You should think about your life. But yeah, I cannot. Let's yeah. We need to end it. We need to end it. We need to end our existence because that's just such a bad list. I can't. All right. Actually, before we end the whole show, which of those lists do you think is worse? Because Black Panther is yeah. And putting Fast 5 above Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it's a funny list.
Yeah. Also, I want to say I want to say some things that are not on the action movie list that probably should have been. Saving Private Ryan is not on that list, which mind-boggling. Even if they were going by like one from every franchise, obviously, Return of the Jedi probably should have been on there as well, if not the first one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Batman 89 or Batman Returns could have been on there. I wouldn't have been upset about that. Even if like the action parts aren't that good, the fucking soundtrack, Danny Elfman makes those fucking movies.
True. Fact.
Yeah. What else is on there? Or that should have been on there. Yeah. I guess I guess you wouldn't count Creed as an action movie. Not really. No, not exactly. Speed Racer fucking 2007 probably should have been on there, honestly. High key. High key. Speed Racer should have been on there.
Pretty good action movie.
Chris absolutely Speed Racer pilled us. I will say. Our friend Chris, from boarding school, he
We were
were you
Racer.
there for that movie night?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. He made us watch Speed Racer, and he absolutely Speed Racer pilled us. We are I don't want to say race pilled because that's probably not the best wording for that. Maybe speed pilled? I don't know. But we have taken some kind of pill. And maybe Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little pill? Is that the kind of pill we took? I don't know. But Speed Racer should have been on that list. It's fucking great. It's fucking beautiful. I would say we're gonna end the show, but I'm gonna say that the Rolling Stone list is worse. Even though the fucking Shea Freilis list is absolute crap. But I will say Speed Racer is a better Wachowski's movie and a better action movie than The Matrix.
Yikes.
Do you disagree with that?
I really love The Matrix.
I think it's a little overrated. I'm gonna be honest.
They got some stuff that don't age.
It's good.
It's just a fact.
It's good, but it's not Speed Racer. Some of that is nostalgia, but also Speed Racer just hits emotionally. Like that shit. It's just a well-made movie. John Goodman's a fucking performer. Susan Sarandon is a fucking performer. Like, I don't like her as a person. I think she can eat shit. But, goddamn, can that woman act? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, that woman can act. Yeah. So, Speed Racer absolutely should have been on that list. Two Towers being where it was, yeah. I don't know. Rolling Stone list was fucking awful. So... would you say the Spielberg list was worse, or would you agree with me?
I gotta say the Spielberg list is worse instead of the. I mean, you know, no.
The sheer
I'll go
amount
with
of
you.
thing. The
I'll
sheer
go with
amount
you.
of thing. Well,
I
all right.
just I can't see. I this just it hurts. It hurts to have Fast and the Furious 5
Yeah.
outrank all these movies I grew up with.
I will also say,
Doesn't make sense.
the Rolling Stone list put Raiders higher on the list of all movies than Shea Freilis put it on the list of just Spielberg movies. So that's fucking bad. The sheer amount of things that are higher than Raiders on the Shea Freilis list is fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah, but I can't.
The Terminal is not better than Raiders.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both awful. The people who wrote them should feel bad about themselves. And I think we can end the episode there.
Awesome.
Patreon. Thank you, Justin Connor, for helping support us. If you want to head on over to Patreon yourselves to support us, you get a cool little shout out in the description and there at the end of the episode. And if you go over to our influential and successful tier, you also get access to our movie commentaries. We've done one on all the Indiana Jones movies and on The Rock. So very relevant to this episode, actually. But yeah, definitely check those out. They're really fun. What else? If you want to follow us on social media for topic suggestions, Q&A, updates about the show, We are at IIHS Podcast on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and YouTube. So go check us out there. Also, we have another podcast. I don't know how we're going to include this into the outro. We'll workshop it as we go, but we have a tabletop gaming podcast called Atop the Table, which you should also go check out. There will be a link in the description from now on, so definitely go check that out. But other than that, my name is Kale. I've been incredibly influential.
And my name is Maxwell, and I've been highly successful.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Next week will be... so if this one is going out on the 19th, then the one after will be going up on the 26th. So Merry Christmas, since you won't hear from us until then. So everyone have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. I think Hanukkah's already over. Did it start? Or... Yeah, Hanukkah started on Friday. So I think it ends tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, happy Hanukkah as well. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you guys next week.